Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Dharni the Practical AI Dev. In today's video, we will learn about a very interesting topic MCP. What is MCP? So MCP is Model Context Protocol. So the common language that tells AI talk to external tools. So instead of every computer creating their different integration, so everyone agrees on one protocol just like a USB. So that is the definition of MCP. So I can explain so for a simple way, like imagine you have a super smart robot, but the robot is very intelligent, but it has one problem. It doesn't know how to use your computer, Gmail, Google Drive, GitHub or database by itself. So it only know how to chat. So how we can teach it to use all these things? So this is where the MCP protocol comes. Okay, so real life example I can explain. So imagine you are in a restaurant. So you are a customer. Chef is in kitchen. So he or she is a LLM, and waiter is a MCP. Kitchen is a external tools like GitHub, Google Drive, database, APIs, everything. So without the waiter, what you have to do? You would have to walk into the kitchen by yourself, and you have to ask your order. I mean, you have to give your order. So but with waiter, you simply say, you can simply order your thing. So the waiter goes to the kitchen and get the order and brings it back. So the chef never leaves the kitchen. So the waiter handles the communication. So here is the MCP comes. So basically MCP is the waiter. So you call the AI will call the MCP, and then MCP will decide the external tools. So that is the usage of MCP. So why we need a MCP basically? So before MCP, what happened is every AI tools like GPT, Claude or OpenAI, everything has its own connection method. For example, if you have an OpenAI, it will call the custom Gmail API, and it will call the custom GitHub API, database API and Slack API. So everything was different and difficult to maintain. So after MCP, what happens is LLM calls the MCP, and then MCP will call the Gmail, GitHub and everything. So one protocol have many tools. So that is the main usage of the this thing, MCP. So simple example is if you want to find all my PDF files. So without MCP, what AI will do? It will ask, I don't have access or something. So with MCP, AI asks the file system MCP server, and then server will return all the PDF files. So it will give you the I found 3 PDF files, and it will list all the files. So this is the main example of MCP. So now we'll just go to the main components of MCP. So there are 3 different components of MCP. One is MCP Client, MCP Server and external tools. So consider MCP Client. So the client, nothing but it lives in the AI application itself. So its job is to discover the available tools. What are the available tools in that application, and then it will send a request. So you ask some question and it will get the details, and it will send that request and receive the response. So this is the main usage of the client. What it will do, it will check the available tools, send the request and receive the response. That's it. So that is the usage of MCP client. Now MCP server. MCP server knows how to use a specific tool. So for example, if you have a file system server, it will read the files, write the files, delete the files. Same way the GitHub server and this one database server. So it has set of functionalities. So the server will use that specific tools. How it knows how to use the specific tools. So that is the MCP server. Now external tools. External tools is nothing but GitHub, file system, database, MSQL or Slack or those kind of external tools. So the client, what it will do, it will just discover the tools, send the request to server. Server knows how to use the specific tools, and tools are there. So it will use it and it will give you that response, and client will receive the response. That's it. So this is the entire workflow of MCP. So, the main benefits of MCP is, So it has a one standard for all the AI tool integration. So they have set the one single standard, one protocol, so that will applicable for all AI tools. And the second one is it is reusable across different AI models, and it easier to build AI applications. If you have any AI application, you can easily create a MCP client and server, and you can easily use it. And then there is a list custom integration code. So for example, in future, if you have some, if Gmail or GitHub, they have modified some APIs, you have to modify it by yourself in your AI application. But with MCP, you don't need to do any changes. You just call the MCP itself will do all the changes, so you don't need to do anything. So also, if you work with GitHub database files and more, it is easy to use the MCPs. Also, let's automatically discover the available tools. So in our previous videos, we learned some AI agents, agentic AIs. So AI agent, what is it? Is just creating the tools, and we are calling the tools by manually. So based on the user's prompt, call this calculator, call this code tool, something. But this one AI automatically discover the available tools. So that is the benefits of MCP. So now let's see the live demo. So what I did is I created one client and server simple MCP application. So now I'll just explain the basics of clients and server, what it is having. So I just created import the MCP, and this is the MCP standard IO, and there is a client also. So now here I'm just defining the server parameters. So the server actually a Python script, it's calling server.py. So what we did is we are just passing the parameters. Command is Python, and then argument is server.py. So I think you remember, like for AI agents, what we usually do, we'll just call the Python server.py. So it will just call that and get you the tools and do the operations. So now here we are just initializing the client. So the client session is initialized. So the the session dot initialize, it's there, and it will give you the list of tools. So I just asked session dot tools. So this session is nothing but it's calling the server.py, and then server.py will have the MCP, and it will give you the list of tools available in the server, MCP server. So here you can see tools. So the available tools are tools.tools, and then you are printing the tools. And also I'm calling one more I'm calling the tool specifically the add tool, and passing the parameter, this one A is A value, B value, because here if you see the MCP tool add has A and B, so it will just add two numbers and give you the details. That's it. So I'm just printing it and I'm running it. So what it will happen, I'll just maybe I already ran, I'll just run it again. Yeah, so here printing the available tools. So these tools are coming from the server.py. So this will give you the list of tools, all the MCP tools, and then it will give you add, subtract, multiply, divide, and then what we did is we are calling the add, and then we want to return the response. So the response is 30. Add. So this is the main usage of MCP. Let me try some other one. Divide. So it should, what it should do, it should return 200. Sorry, A divided by 20, yeah, 0.5. So that's it. So this one what MCP did is there are list of tools, and we are calling the specific tools to get the details. So this is the main the basics of MCP. So in tomorrow's video, what we will do is we will develop a GitHub MCP with end-to-end running application. Okay, I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.